supposed to talk to you today. This is my formal address to you in terms of the governor's official visit. So Carl had to deal with this, and I've been thinking for a while, what would I say to Rotary clubs? And Shelley and I have now been to more than half of our official visits. And some of them have been joint visits, and I want to thank you for agreeing to do that. As Dave said, I think it's great that clubs get together. We knew when we took on this obligation, both Shelley and I are working. We have jobs. In fact, I was at the office this morning, and our bosses expect us to actually come to work from time to time. So we knew that it would be a challenge for us to do 50 official visits, go to all of your events, also meet with your boards. So we asked a couple of the AGs if they would work with the presidents and see if we could get a couple logical clubs to come together. So we really thank you for doing this. It's not that we don't think you're important enough to have separate meetings. Quite frankly, it's probably the opposite. I sometimes wonder why people want to hear me speak, but I appreciate that you're here. So why do we do official visits? Well, as Shelley and I discussed earlier this year, I would have another woman in my life this year, and that woman is Rotary International. And there's a lot of men out there, and I think you'll agree with me that when a woman tells you to do something, you'll be happier and you'll live longer if you do it. So Rotary International tells us that we have to meet with every single club. But I really enjoy doing it. It's been a lot of fun. Then I looked up, well, what does Rotary International want you to do? And, well, these are the things we're supposed to talk to you about. We're supposed to talk to you a little bit about what's happening at the international level, what is happening here in the district this year, and then lastly, which I actually find the easiest part, is we're supposed to talk to you, to inspire you, club members, to get more engaged and to continue to do the wonderful things that you do, both within your club, your communities, and at the district level. So I'm going to talk to you about international, what's happening there. Well, first of all, hopefully by now, everybody knows that our Rotary International president this year is a fellow from India, Gujarat, India. He's a chemical engineer. I've had the opportunity to meet him and to have dinner with him. Both Shelley and I spent some time with he and his lovely wife, Vinota. He's got a great sense of humor, which surprised me, given that he's a chemical engineer. Are there any chemical engineers here? They're probably not laughing. But he's a really passionate guy. He's got a lot of love for Rotary. He's been in Rotary now for 39 years. One of the things that every Rotary International president gets to do is to unveil the theme for the coming year. And they do that usually in January when all the district governors, so there are 533 of us, plus myself, in San Diego. And I wanted to show you how we presented the theme.
To achieve the fulfillment, we have to find harmony between our inner self and the outer self. The inner dimensions are our desires, our will, our spirit. And our outer dimension is the action we take and the image we create. That is why I'm asking each one of you to reach within and unleash your inner power. And then use it to embrace everything and everyone around you. Go ahead. First reach within yourself. And then move on confidently, firmly towards the target you have set for yourselves. Discover yourselves, develop the strengths within you, and then unhesitatingly, unflinchingly go forth and encircle the world to embrace humanity. And that, my brothers and sisters in Rotary, is going to be our theme for our year. Reach within to embrace humanity.
So I wanted you to see that yourself, so you get a sense of the passion in his voice. I'm certainly proud to be part of his team this year, and I think both presidents here should be as well. It's a great theme. He talks about a bunch of things that he wants us to do this year. One of the things he talks about is family. And I think we sometimes don't spend enough time talking about that. My view of Rotary family is we're not just talking about bringing your kids to events. It's much broader than that. We're really lucky, you've got two clubs here today, but we're really lucky as Rotarians that we have this whole other support group. So support one another when somebody has, whether it's work issues or health issues or family issues. That's the beauty of Rotary. We've got this whole other group there. But sometimes we forget because we're busy. So I'm going to ask the presidents this year to make sure that you as a club are supporting each other within your club. We're really lucky to have that. He also talks about change and continuity. And when I first heard him talk about that, I thought, well, those seem to be two opposite concepts. How do you have both at the same time? But when you listen to Callian, what he's simply trying to say is that, look, in Rotary International, we do some things extremely well. And we have to continue to do those things. We can improve them, but continue to do them. There are also things that we perhaps don't do as well, and that we need to definitely work on or change. So he's committed to change in many, many ways. And he's simply saying, keep doing what you do well. What you don't do well, you need to improve. So what are some of the things that he's doing to promote change? Well, first of all, there's an award this year called the Changemaker Award, which is a brand new award. And it's international. And we're looking for clubs within our district to apply. There's actually a small, medium, and large category. And it's basically a demonstration of what your club is doing to embrace change in Rotary. So I think it's really good that he's starting, not just Callion, but the whole board is starting to recognize we need to do things differently. If Rotary wants to be sustainable into the future, we have to approach things differently. One of the things that they're doing to demonstrate their commitment to that is they've started these pilot projects. There's 200 of them around the world. They're 2 years long, and the intent is that different clubs will have the opportunity to explore different ways of promoting Rotary awareness, promoting Rotary recruitment and retention. We're lucky in our district, Super District 6400, we have 2 clubs, the Livonia AM Club, and our president is right here, and we also have the Clinton Club, and they are both pilot projects this year for different areas. I won't go into great detail other than to say that once all these clubs finish their work and their research, really, over the next 2 years, trying different things, they will report back to Rotary International, and then we'll see a number of changes coming from Rotary International. And I think they're going to affect areas such as Rotary awareness, certainly attendance rules, membership, whether it's corporate membership, associate membership, that type of thing. So there is certainly a commitment to change at the Rotary International level. Probably the biggest commitment to change is the fact that we now have a new strategic plan. I don't know if you can see it real clearly from where you are, but at the bottom you'll notice that we have 5 key values. And going from left to right is service, fellowship, diversity, integrity, and leadership. And if you think about it, those are really what we stand for. I give them credit for going through the exercise and identifying this. How many of you are in the public sector or have been involved in the public sector? I've been a former mayor before. You're a former mayor. You do strategic plans, you really shouldn't wait 10 years. Strategic plans should probably be done every 3-5 years at most. We haven't had one for about 10 years in Rotary. So it's nice that we now have one, and I think it's a commitment to change. You'll notice that the statement in the middle, I'll read it for you in case you can't see it from there. It's a worldwide network of inspired individuals who translate their passions into relevant social causes to change lives and communities. So that sounds long, but if you think about it, that again is what we do. And hopefully if you're ever in an elevator or on a long escalator with somebody, if you can remember this and they ask you about Rotary, it's a great way of summing up what it is that we do. So I am quite confident in saying to you that at the international level, we're really in good hands. I think Rotary is recognizing that there are a lot of things that we have to do to move into the future. At the district level, you're in my hands for this year, so it's a whole different story, but I'll let you be the judge of that. So what are some of the things we want to accomplish this year at the district level? Well, first of all, we want to do something about technology. I know that's near and dear to some people around here. One of the things that we've done, how many of you use the district directory? There's probably 1 or 2 around here. I saw one over there at the head table. The district directory is a document that we have printed every single year. It costs a lot of money. And the challenge with it is that it is obsolete even before it's printed. And the reason is because in this day and age, when it comes to contact information, people are changing their contact information constantly. It doesn't have information about events because in many cases the event dates haven't been set, and whatever information is there often changes. So we decided we're going to continue to print them, we just won't print as many this year. We'll reduce costs, and instead we'll offer alternatives. So one of the things that we did this year, we've done a few things, but one thing is that we have CDs. So now you can actually put a CD on your laptop, you can put it on your desktop, you can make photocopies, so you basically have the same document as the directory, but we're not producing something glossy. What we are finding is that some of the documents some of the directories that were produced would end up being put in a box, put in storage, wherever you keep your banner and your flags and your gavel, and then eventually somebody would clear it out, so they were unused. We also, through our district website, through our database, we also have a directory there, which is relatively current, because as new information comes in from club secretaries or from club presidents, we're able to actually update that. So if you want to get a hold of somebody, one of the best ways of making sure that you have current information is actually going to the website. We're committed to trying to use technology to make us better, not just in terms of creating Rotary awareness, but just in terms of communicating with one another. And Derek Locke happens to be here. I asked Derek to put together a task force. Derek from the Dearborn Heights Club is past assistant governor, and some of you may have realized in the last day or two, actually you got an email from the district with a survey asking you to tell us how you use technology. There's a bunch of questions there, so hopefully if you haven't received the email yet or you haven't answered, you'll take a moment to do that. So with that feedback, Derek and myself and Shelley and some others will be working on developing a strategic plan for how we use technology in our district. The other thing that we're going to promote this year is Youth Exchange. Youth Exchange is very dear to the Canton Club. Sue Kowalski is here. I just don't know where she is. There she is. And Sue Kowalski is the chair of our district Youth Exchange Committee. Youth Exchange is probably the best program in Rotary. And I can say this to you now, not just as your governor, but also as a father. As you heard in our introduction, Shelley and I are the parents of a 19-year-old girl who just came back from Belgium. So we've now been exposed to Youth Exchange from a different perspective. And I can tell you that, and I know this may sound overstated, it makes the world a smaller place, and it makes the world a more peaceful place. And you may think about, well, what's he talking about? It really does. When you consider how many kids are traveling around the world every year and learning about each other and meeting people. Our daughter now has friends all over the world. We never thought she had more friends in the world than we do, but she does. I think she's got 700, 800 Facebook friends and stuff like that. And she's constantly in contact with people in Australia, back in Belgium, in France, in Croatia, all over the place. So it's a program that we really need to support more. We've seen a decline in terms of numbers of students coming in. And a large part of that is because the clubs are smaller. We just haven't had as many host parents. So we decided this year we're going to beef up the committee and give Sue some help. We were asking a lot of people on that committee to do a lot. So what we've done this year is add some new people to the committee, and I'm hoping that every club will be involved. If you can't be involved in terms of having a host kid, or if you can't in terms of hosting a kid, that's fine. You can be involved by inviting the students to one of your events. You can sponsor an event. There's many different things that you can do. And Youth Exchange is the type of program where we don't need a commitment from you today for something tomorrow. We need a commitment from you now for something, in many cases, a year and a half, 2 years from now. So you've got a lot of time before you actually have to gear up to host a student, but the decision has to be made sooner rather than later. So just keep it in mind. It really is one of our best programs, and even though our membership has shrunk, and I'll talk about membership in a few minutes, we still need to support that program. So hopefully you'll hear more about our committee and more about what's going on. Every district governor who comes to talk to you will talk about three things. One is conference. And oh, by the way, we're required to have a district conference. Carl probably knows that. It's not because everybody wants to have a party at the end of the year. You're actually required to have a district conference. It's supposed to be an opportunity for every district to learn about Rotary and to meet each other and find out what's going on within their district. So this year we are having it in Sandusky, Ohio. It's a resort called Kalahari. How many of you have heard of Kalahari before? Almost half. It's a fantastic facility. It's from here, it's probably 2 hours and 10 minutes away. I don't think it's much farther than that. It's nice and close for you to get to. We had to pick a theme. Shelley and I are known as the African couple in the district because of how African she looks, I think. Now it's because of a lot of the work that we've done in Africa. So this was a great place to suit that theme. It comes readily decorated. We don't even have a decorating budget. We don't need one, which is good. We can save some money. We will have a great time. We want to move away from, if there's a perception out there that the district conference is a party for district leaders, we want to prove that that's not true at all. This party is, from my perception, as far as I'm concerned, this party is about you guys. It's about individual Rotarians and it's about individual clubs. We want everybody to be there. As far as I'm concerned, it's your party, and we really need you to be at your own party. This is an opportunity for you to celebrate what Joan and Bob are going to do this year, which I know are going to be great things. They've already started already. And we're going to give people an opportunity to go wild on Rotary with us there. When we say wild on Rotary, we mean get excited about Rotary. If you have not been to a district conference, it's a shame. You really should. First of all, many people who go to district conferences will go to multiple different district conferences, because once you go to one, you're going to want to go to others. You will laugh, you will cry, you'll meet a lot of friends, you'll learn a lot about Rotary, and one of the things we're going to do is give you opportunities to actually do hands-on service projects right there in Sandusky. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'd love to have you join us. One of the things that